Hey guys, it's the Raspberry Pi 3 Model B in the house. Check it out. So just got this in, brand new. Haven't even had a chance to look at it myself. But it's the Raspberry Pi 3 Model B. As it says, this is the one that comes with the new wireless LAN and Bluetooth. This one is from the element14.com website. And I'm very excited to have this. Without a doubt, even before getting inside, I can tell you this is the one to have. If you haven't bought a Raspberry Pi before, you should definitely be getting the Raspberry Pi 3. We'll talk more about that soon, but including the wireless LAN, so you can start to take advantage of your home network straight away, assuming you have wireless, which just about everybody does. So let's get inside and find out what this is all about. First, just a quick walk around the outside of the box. Raspberry Pi 3 on the side there. On the back is Raspberry Pi 3 Model B, 1 GB RAM in various languages. It comes with the 802.11 BGN wireless LAN and Bluetooth 4.1. There's some registered trademark information, but basically that is the outside of the box. Let's get inside. So inside we have the Raspberry Pi 3, some safety instruction information, and a quick start guide. The quick start guide basically tells you what to do in order to, you can see it comes in multiple languages now, but it's just this one pager, that's all we're paying attention to. And this just tells you basically how to plug in your Raspberry Pi, get the SD card in there, and what to do. But this comes completely bare bones, and this video won't be about plugging it in, just about looking at the outside of it. There you go. The Raspberry Pi 3 Model B in all of its beautiful glory. All right, let's do a quick walk around and take a look at exactly what we've got here. Okay, starting in the middle, we have the Broadcom chip. This is the 1.2 gigahertz Broadcom 4-core CPU. Considering the old days of where the Raspberry Pi originally started out, this is a proper upgrade, and one that's, well, useful. Over here we have the other chip, which is the USB and Ethernet port chip that does all the controlling for that. And I don't actually see the wireless chip. That must be on the other side here. Right, so it looks like the wireless chip is actually on the back side, and it looks like it might just be this little guy here. Let me just point it out with the screwdriver. Looks like it's probably that guy there. And the reason I can tell is that this on the other side, that is actually the antenna for it. Alright, well, let's have a quick look at the rest of the Raspberry Pi and just talk about exactly what you get. Here is where the power goes in. This is a USB micro with 5 volt power in. This can take up to 2.4 amps, which means it can take a bit more power than some of the previous generation Raspberry Pis, which means you can power more stuff off the USBs. We'll talk about those more in a second. After that, you have the HDMI connector. This is a full-size HDMI. Here you have the camera pinch, or the, I think it's called a CSI, camera serial interface. After that, you have the audio-visual 3.5 millimeter jack that goes in there. It also has the yellow component out in case you don't have the HDMI. Here we have the Ethernet port. You can see the word Ethernet written right there. This Ethernet port is 10100. It is not yet a gigabit. I hope that will come in a future upgrade. We have 4 USB 2. I'm just going to turn this so you can see. These are 4 USB 2. Along the top here we have the 40 GPIO pins. And here we have the display serial interface, or the DSI. Flipping it over to the back side, you can see this is the micro SD port where you put the micro SD in. Returning back to this side, we can see that this has the 4 screw hole mounts, the same as the previous Raspberry Pi 2 and the previous Raspberry Pi Model B+. This lives inside that generation, down the B stream, which is why it's called the Raspberry Pi 3B. In order to explain that, let's have a look at some of the other models and where exactly this fits. So you guys who've been watching my channel for a long time know that I've been asking for this wireless to be included for a long time. Here is the previous generation. This is the Raspberry Pi 2 Model B version 1.1. You can see it there, and in this USB port I have an 802.11n included in there because in order to have it on the network I needed to have a little USB card in there. This is the previous model. This is actually the Model B. This is the first generation, and you can see that it's the first generation because it only has the 2 USB ports. It includes a yellow composite video out and a separate 3.5mm jack, and this only has 26 of the GPIOs. We've come quite a long way from there. This is a single core 800 megahertz. Is it 800 or 900 megahertz? I'll let you know in the about section below, but this also had the serial pinches, but you can see we've come quite a long way. We've got more GPIOs, faster and faster CPUs, and now of course we've got the Wi-Fi, which is great. But there's still one more to come after this, and that one more to come after this is really what I'm after. That one to come after this Raspberry Pi 3 will probably be the Raspberry Pi 4 with USB 3 and gigabit Ethernet. That, for me, is what's coming. It's what's been coming down the line for quite a long time. But in the meantime, this one is definitely the one to get. There's no point in screwing around with these other ones. You're going to end up with the 802.11n. But what this really needed to be, this wireless, it really needed to be on the A stream. So let's just run through the A stream so you can see exactly what they're about. The most recent A stream you will have seen is the Raspberry Pi Model 0. The Zero is a great little device, but out of the box it doesn't actually do anything. And if this thing had the wireless, that would be great. That, of course, is the replacement for the A Plus and the first generation Model A. Now, the difference between the Model A and the Model B was the Ethernet and the 2 USBs as opposed to the 1 USB. As you can see, we move into the second generation as we go to the B Plus, or rather, this is not the B Plus, but the Raspberry Pi 2, although it's the same as the B Plus in terms of its look. This matches up with the 40 pins on the Raspberry Pi A Plus. As we move on to the Zero, you can see that in order to save money and make this the $5 computer that it is, they didn't install the GPIO pins, though I will be doing that in an upcoming video. This is really a cost-cutting version of the Raspberry Pi. This Zero is just $5 and it's great for what it is and what it could be. But what would make it an absolute smash hit is if they'd taken the wireless card from the version 3 and put it in the Zero. So there's still new versions to come, and I hope we'll see one of these revisions soon. The Raspberry Pi Model 4 should have that gigabit Ethernet, which is what this device really needs, and hopefully the wireless card from here will slowly make its way over to the A chain. Not slowly, rapidly, will make its way over to the A chain and hopefully soon join the Raspberry Pi Model 0. In the meantime, let's just say it again, this is the one to get. If you're going to get one, you should get this. If you're going to get a Zero, I understand it's only $5 and they're great, but there's a lot of work you're going to need to do in order to turn this into an everyday functional computer, and this is already that. This is an everyday functional computer, and that's what makes it so amazing. I can plug in a mouse, a keyboard, and a monitor right now, and we're off to the races. I have a fully functioning computer. It's slow. I mean, it's not fully like a desktop replacement yet, even though this is faster than the previous generation by about 50%. It's better. I'm amazed at how well it works as a word processor, as, a very light browser of the internet. I use a Raspberry Pi 2 as my everyday OSMC or Kodi installation. I use that every day, and I'm always surprised at how well and how fast it runs. But if I was going to get one, I would totally get this because it already comes with the Wi-Fi. You don't have to spend the extra $6 or $8 or whatever to get one of these Wi-Fi cards. It's already included. It costs the same. It's more powerful than the previous generation. Just get one of these. If you haven't already done it, just get one. This one is going to be the new standard. the new standard in a couple ways. It's not only going to replace these previous generations by including the Wi-Fi, but this one is set to really change the world. This one is really set to be in classrooms all around the world. This one is really set to be in libraries and other locations. Really, if you were thinking about getting into the Raspberry Pi game, this is the one that you should get. It'll be much easier to set up, much easier to use with that Wi-Fi card already built in. And of course, with the GPIOs already installed, it's a much easier solution than the A stream. The A stream, really, I suggest you start with the B stream, you get everything working the way you want it, and then move over, migrate your project over as you complete them. But really, this is a start to finish, beautiful little credit card size computer. Just so excited to get the Raspberry Pi 3 up and running. In one of my upcoming videos, of course, you'll see that. But all I need to do really to get this up and running is just take this out of here and fire it in there. That's it. I mean, we should be off and running. Oh, one little change I just noted. This isn't spring loaded like the previous generations. Oh no, it's not, This is exactly like the Zero. Yeah, it's interesting. Another little change to note there. But I'm going to go put this back into my network, and I'm going to get this set up. And of course, you'll be able to see me set up a Raspberry Pi 3 in my upcoming videos. I did a recent video where I showed how to easily set them up, and of course you can use that setup. Now I can just take that out and we're ready to go. It's a great, amazing computer. If you don't already have a Raspberry Pi, absolutely get the Raspberry Pi 3. Even if the Raspberry Pi 4 comes out tomorrow and they've got USB 3s and a gigabit Ethernet, I'm still going to say the one to get is going to be this one. It's got what you need to get by starting right now. It's got the ability to turn this into a computer for every location in your house, just right there. And the gigabit will be great to have. The gigabit Ethernet will enable this to turn into a better NAS. It'll have faster access to the network. It'll have faster access to reading and writing files on the network, which is great, and that'll be a great application, but it's kind of niche compared to what this. It's the same with USB 3. USB 3 will be great for USB 3 drives. Again, turning this into a better NAS application or network attached storage. It'll be better for that, but still, you don't really need that sort of thing. I mean, even this video that I'm making now, I'm using USB 2 web cameras, and you can use the Raspberry Pi 3 to record from that. I mean, it really is a fantastic device. Well, I think I've said enough about the Raspberry Pi 3. If you haven't already, just go get one. Stop being crazy. For 35 bucks, it's insane. It's the best thing going. So thanks for watching, guys. That is my unboxing and walk around. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm really excited about this computer, not just in terms of what I'm going to do with it, but what it means for the future. And I'm just so excited about it. I'm still looking forward to playing with my Raspberry Pi Zero. That'll be a lot of fun. There's a lot of cool projects to get up to with that. But this is the new standard, and all of my projects are going to start right here with this. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. If you have any questions, of course, you can ask in the comment section below. If you found this video particularly useful, buy me a coffee in the About section. Always appreciate that. Or sign up on Patreon. Patreon is a monthly subscription service, which means that you guys will be able to help contribute to me buying more and better stuff so that I can make more great videos like this one and use the Raspberry Pi to do more great projects. Thanks again. Look forward to seeing you guys again soon.